I used to be a project manager and I had my own department, which gave me a lot of possibilities to, because I had responsibility for the budget and the projects and the customer satisfaction, but also the team. So that gave me a lot of possibilities to evolve in my lean methodologies in my projects. And in the end, I found out that this is what I want to do. So the actual project until the end is something that other people are really good at. And I'd like to start this project, think about how we can do it differently, and then inspire the team, and then go on to the next project and inspire people. And that was not possible in the role that I had, because that consisted of the whole department with everything that goes with it. I love my job because it gives me the opportunity to do what I love to do, and that is think about how to improve the projects in lean methodologies. I love to see how much waste there is that we can eliminate, and I love to see how this helps to make work more enjoyable for the people that are involved, and it helps the customer as well, because they can, if we have shorter lead times, they can use their building sooner. And if the people that are involved in the project do their work in a shorter time, they have more of a productive day, so they can be satisfied when they're driving back home at the end of the day. So it helps I help other people be happy and be more successful by using my energy. So, I mean, what more could I wish for? Yes, I have been applying the lean methodologies in construction projects on monumental buildings that were in use. And that is a totally different way of looking at a construction project. That's not building houses in a field. That is, let's say, for instance, the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam is open 365 days a year. They have evening events. So basically, there's no time. And even if there is time at night or on a different way, then there's still the art that needs to be protected for damage or theft. So this calls for a different approach, because in a traditional approach, we would say a construction project would take X time, like 6 months. But we could impossibly say this museum is closed for 6 months. So we had to think of something for the projects that we did there to make sure that the business could continue. So this forced us to think in lean methodologies, in one-piece flow. Let's focus on one room. We don't, let's say, prime 10 doors and then we finish them the next week. We always orient our work into finished end products or sub-end products that the customer can use. So a primed door or 10 primed doors is not something a customer can use, but one finished door is. So this is the key shift from traditional planification or traditional orientation of the work to the lean one-piece flow work. And this is what I experienced in these in-use buildings, because there was simply no other way. So all the team members, I got the team members engaged because everybody understood that there was no other way than to look at a one room or one floor orientation. So everybody can work together, they can learn from each other, and the process, of course, speeds up when there are several people working at the same time instead of waiting, which is one of the wastes defined in the lean methodologies. I think the construction project manager should have the right balance between all the stakeholders. Okay, so it's not just about checking boxes, which is also important to keep track of how the project is going, but in the end, the success is in, are we delivering enough value for our customer? Are we delivering value, or are the contractors and subcontractors delivering value, and what do we need to do? Right? So the project manager needs to have the overview of what do we need to do to make sure that every party can do their utmost best to deliver their best quality in the shortest amount of time. And this is a different focus. So this is not just on contracts or schedules, or they're an important part of the job, but I think that the key to success is feeling where everybody's value is and how everybody can contribute at the same time together for the common goal. I believe it's very important if we work with a team of different parties and different with different stakeholders. So either this is the client or the subcontractors or maybe the architect, or to see what our common goal is in the project and what everybody's role is, because everybody, I believe, is just as important as the other one. No matter how big or small the role is, you are there for a reason. So without you, the project can never be finished. So what I do is find the common goal. So this is a satisfied customer, or this could be a process without nuisance in case of a museum. So that could be goals or sub-goals that we all agree on. And then we see, okay, what is your part in this role? What do you do? When and how do you do it? And what do you need from the one before you? How do you want your, let's say, your room or the place where you do your work, how do you want it handed over from the one before you? And how are you going to hand it over to the one next to you? So if the painter wants to paint a wall, he needs a flat surface, and the plasterer can only make a flat surface if the brickwork is done correctly. So this cascades down right to the beginning of the project. So and this is the conversation that we want to have in the last planner system. So the last planner system is not about planification on its own, but it's about having this discussion. What do you need to do your work in the best possible way? And how can I collaborate? And how can I cooperate to make sure that you can deliver the best paintwork? Because in the end, the paintwork, that's what the customer will see. He won't see the brickwork that's behind it. So we all work together to make sure that the painter can do the paintwork in a correct way. I think in the construction sector, we face a lot of challenges in the complexity of the projects. Projects become more difficult. Responsibilities got shifted. I think there are a lot more rules and regulations and a lot more things that need to be incorporated, like environmental issues that weren't involved, let's say, 20 years back. And now we have to think about the materials that we use, or the possibility to reuse materials in the future. So there's a lot more complexity in projects. And I think the way we are facing that by making even bigger contracts and, let's say, legalizing the whole process, I think that makes it more difficult. So what we can do with applying the lean methodologies is make this complexity simple. Do the same thing, but do it differently so that it's more simple. So it's simpler for everybody to comprehend and have a more reliable outcome, because you can adjust your project as a project manager in a very profound way, in an easier, steadier pace, instead of just facing all this complexity at once. And that is what we teach in this master's as well. So this master's does not only give you the proper skills that you need, but you also, at the same time, with the same effort, you learn when to use which methodology in which phase of the project. So you can take the tools out of your toolbox, and we hand you the tools, but we also tell you when you can use them. And that is the big difference between just sending the bits of information in different subjects. So I think it is imperative to work as a team together, as it were a real construction project, because then you will encounter the same problems or the same difficulties or the same challenges that you will in a real project. So then you know how to adapt accordingly. I think I can contribute to this master's with my passion for doing things differently, for really, really wanting to help other people and inspire other people, looking at this at different methodologies. Even though we are used to doing things in a certain way, this benefits everybody. This benefits everybody, not only your job as a project manager, but also there are smiling, high-fiving people around you on the shop floor. And in the end, the most important checks and balances of a project in ways of time and money and quality and safety are always met. So not only the customer is satisfied, but you as a project manager can succeed and be more successful in your project. How great is it that I can help other people achieve that? And I believe that my passion for this is what we sometimes need to get out of our let's say our built-in paradigms that we have had for the last years.